Peace. This is Just Be Real coming to you live once again. Got another lesson for you. I'm going to read a couple things for you. And we're going to try to piece some more of this stuff together. And talk about these plagiarized, bullshit-ass Bible stories. Right? I'm going to try to read as much as I can. Alright? Let's go. Coming back to this book right here again. The Woman's Encyclopedia of Mr. Secrets, Barbara G. Walker. Okay, listen to this. It's under this title, this section right here. Quintessence. It says, blue blood was once supposed to be the sign of the gods' aristocracy. It was given by the goddess to deify ancestors of the highest caste. Blue blood was called quinta essentia by the Romans, the essential fifth part, or quintessence, embodying a spirit of immortality, godhood. Sometimes the quinta essentia was a sacred wine or ambrosia. Sometimes it was more plainly designated to menstrual blood of the goddess. Worshippers of Aphrodite taught that the essential fifth came to a man during the lunar month called honeymoon, planned to span a menstrual period. Now let's drop down here, right? It says Homer said the blood that flowed in the veins of gods was a blue ethereal fluid prepared by Aphrodite's honeybees. Let's drop down here. It says that the blue-blooded god filled with quintessences was well known to Gnostic thinkers. Porphyry said the Demiurge, or creator of the material world, was shaped like a man with a dark blue complexion, exactly like Shiva, Vishnu, and other Hindu gods. Aristotle taught that quintessence was a fifth element after water, earth, air, and fire, of which the body of the gods are made. Sometimes this fifth element was said to be the same as ether, the fluid of heaven. See that? Now, we get our word ether for the Greeks. So you go here to the word elements right here. It says here that a few traditions listed a fifth element that the Greeks call ether, heavenly, of which the immortal bodies of gods, angels, star spirits, or saints were made. It was changeless, having no part in the eternal flux of other elements constantly combining or recombining. The idea of changeless ether was so important to Western notions of the immortal soul that it was never abandoned. Even today, some occultists call it the substance of the astral body. In the 18th and 19th centuries, astronomers believed ether was a gas filling all of outer space. See that? Etheric spirits were immortal, but the other elements were also represented by spirits of a superhuman nature: water, fire, earth, and air. Now let's go over here to the section on Ra. Damn book falling apart. 1 second. try to read all this in its entirety. Okay. 1 second. Okay. All right, let's go. On the section Ra. Egypt's royal sun god said to beget every pharaoh by coupling with the queen mother. He was a late addition to Egypt's pantheon. His origins were greatly confused by his own priests, who called him the supreme deity, though the goddess priests insisted that Ra was only her dependent child. Many scriptures demonstrate the ideological battle. During the Ptolemaic period, some of Ra's votaries rejected the idea that Ra was born of the mother of the gods. They called him the self-begotten and self-born. A hymn addressed him as divine divinity that came into being of himself, primeval God that existed at the beginning. But this passage was an interpolation, meaning that it was injected. The same hymn also said, "Thou art fair, O Ra, every day thy mother, Nut, embraceth thee." It says, one source called Ra the divine man-child, the heir of eternity, self-begotten and self-born. But the same source also said he was the disk within thy mother Hathor, made strong each day by the mother Nut. Sometimes Ra's divinity depended on identifying him with the mother herself. He was told, "Thou art indeed Isis," or "Thou art the great cat," i.e. the goddess Bast Hathor. Some writers mock Ra's pretensions to divinity and considered him subordinate to the goddess mother. He was born yesterday from the buttocks of the goddess Menher, the great celestial water. He was told, "Thy mother brought thee forth upon her hand." Apparently, the average Egyptian wouldn't tolerate priestly efforts to erase the goddess and replace her with the king's solar father. Budge says, quote, "It is quite certain that there was something in the doctrines of the priests of Ra, or in the worship, that was the practical expression of them, which was contrary to the instincts of the Egyptians as a nation. Wrestling with the problem of bringing their God into being without a mother, Ra's priests took refuge in abstractions beyond the understanding of ordinary folk. The God hath formed himself, and his form is not known. He hath joined his seed with his body, so his egg existed in his self-secret. He had no mother who might have given him his name. He who hath shaped his egg himself, the mighty one of mysterious birth, who himself created his beauty. Such abstractions failed to satisfy the little-minded Egyptian who wanted to know how Ra did it. Priests responded with the same evasiveness that modern priesthood also exhibit. 1 second. He says here that his image is not spread out in books. He is too mysterious that his glory should be revealed. Too great that man should question concerning him. Too powerful that he should be known. One falleth down dead on the spot for terror. If his mysterious Unknowable name is pronounced. No God can address him by it. Him with the spirit, whose name is hidden, for that is a mystery. It says, yet Ra was not only the goddess's child, he may even have been a masculine version of the goddess herself. One of her ancient names was Ra, with a feminine ending T. Ra T. Of the two lands, the Lady of Heaven, Mistress of the Gods, Mistress of Heliopolis. Her full name was Rat Taud. Watui. It says Rat-T of the world. Her city, translated in Greek as Heliopolis, was the Egyptian Anu, which the Bible calls On, O-N. It says the goddess really controlled Ra by means of his secret soul name. Each day she laid on him an unbreakable spell, forcing him to grow old and senile as he limped on his cane toward his death at sunset. She forced him to stand still at the summit of heaven while she resurrected her son Horus from the dead. A feature on which the Jews modeled their myth of Joshua's arrest of the sun at the Battle of Jericho. So when it says that Joshua had the sun stand still, bullshit. It's a lie. Myth, never happened. The Jews enthusiastically adopted Ra and identified him with Yahweh, especially in the Babylonian form as the sun god Shemesh or Chemosh. Beth Shemesh, house of the sun, was the biblical version of the sun god's shrine, corresponding to Egyptian Ra. It says the God of Moses followed Ra's customs, demanding that his worshiper go barefoot in his presence. Put off thy shoes from off thy feet, for the place whereon thy standeth is holy ground. Exodus 3:5. Sometimes the Jews called their sun god Elias, a corruption of the Greek Helios. Elias was the father Jesus called upon from the cross, Matthew 27, 47 and 49. So Jesus didn't call upon Yahweh. He called upon Elias. You see that? Let's keep on going. Rachel. It says womb personifications of recommend, mother, love, or compassion, comparable to Sanskrit Karuna. It says that Rachel's Teutonic form was the divine Ewe, mother of the Holy Lamb. Ewe is a sheep. See this? Ewe is a word for sheep. Sheep. Let me show you. A female sheep is called an Ewe, a docile creature of high intelligence. Sheep. It says, mother of the Holy Lamb, an important symbol of earlier Hebraic tribal motherhoods. Listen to this. Rabbinical writings. You got Judaism, rabbinical Judaism. Let's type this word in. Who is this talking about? Rabbinical. BBIN. So it says rabbinical. What is this? Who is this? Rabbinical, relating to rabbis or the Jewish law or teaching. Jews. Jewish people. So who wrote your Bible? The Greeks. White people. But where they get the stories from? Black folks' imagination. So they're taking black folks' imaginations, ideas and customs and ideologies, and turning it against them. Let's go. Let's keep on going. Listen to this. So it says rabbinical writings or Jewish writings admitted that during this tribal period, the four matriarchs or the four mothers, Rachel, Sarah, Rebecca, and Leah, were more important than the three patriarchs or three men, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They just admitted it. Here's the footnotes. I didn't write this stuff. I'm just reading. I didn't write none of this shit. I'm just reading. I'm doing what you niggas afraid to do. Read. Let's keep on going. We're going to read Rainbow and we're going to read Ram. Under the section Rainbow. Myths often associate the rainbow with the dream time or golden age when earth and heaven were in easy communication with one another. Deities, spirits, and mortals might pass back and forth on the rainbow bridge, which was the axis mundi or ladder of heaven, or necklace of the great mother who ruled the golden age. The pot of gold at the rainbow's end was another form of the Celts' holy grail, a womb symbol related to the pots where Mother Moon, Mana, kept the souls of the dead in her western paradise. The rainbow's 7 colors represented the 7 celestial spheres, and the rainbow-hued veils of Maya, the goddess, working behind the veils to manifest the material world in its many-colored complexity. Her priestesses wore the colors of the veils, which appeared in Egyptian mythology as the seven stoles of Isis, and in the Bible as the 7 veils of Solomon. The rainbow veils of the goddess Ishtar were sometimes garments, sometimes jewels. The rainbow was called her necklace, of which she made the bridge of heaven for souls of her chosen ones. Her rainbow necklace had selective power. If the goddess willed, neither man nor God could cross it. On one occasion, she placed her rainbow to block the Heavenly Father from receiving the food laid on Earth's altar, on Earth's altars, to punish him after he sent the flood to destroy her earthly children. Biblical writers reinterpreted this Babylonian myth to omit the goddess and make the rainbow represent God's promise to Noah not to do it again. You see that? It says here that the rainbow selectivity is a common motif. The glowing bridge was a broad way for the chosen, a razor edge for the wicked. The Katha Upanishad said the rainbow bridge to heaven is as difficult to transverse as the edge of a razor. The Persians said the same of their Kinvad or Sinbad rainbow bridge. They say, for the just, it is 9 lace length wide. For the ungodly, it is as narrow as the edge of a razor. The Sinbad bridge is at the center. The bridge connects the earth and heaven at the center. Christian tradition spoke of the same selective bridge of heaven. Narrow is the way, and few there be that find it. Matthew 7:14. Japanese said the rainbow is the road of the gods and the bridge between sky and heaven, sky and earth. As in India and Mesopotamia, its 7 colors were associated with the 7 heavens. The throne of the Supreme Being is surrounded by a rainbow, and the same symbolism persists into the Christian art of the Renaissance. The sex of the Supreme Being was changed by patriarchal theology, but the symbol still suggests the archaic Maya Shakti enveloped in her rainbow veils. You see that? So it says here that they say that the sex of the Supreme Being was changed by patriarchal theology. Who are the patriarchs? Men. So it says the Supreme Being was a woman. What the hell happened? What? Hold on. What's going on here? What the fuck is going on here? Now remember, these are all stories. So let's look up patriarchs again. Patriarchal men change the sex of what we call God in the Bible from a man. They change it from a woman to a man. This is facts. I didn't write this shit. I'm just reading it. Patriarchal men. Everything we read comes from the mouth of a man. Patriarch. What does it mean? Let's look it up. Excuse me. Patriarchal or patriarchal. Relating to or characteristics of a patriarch. We want this one. Relating to or characteristics of a system of society or government controlled by men. It says that the sex of the Supreme Being is surrounded by a rainbow, and the same symbolism persists in the Christian art of the Renaissance. It says the sex of the Supreme Being was changed by patriarchal men, or a system or society of government controlled by men. Theology. What is theology? What does the word theology mean? Or theo? Theology. Theology is the study of the nature of God. So it says that, give me 1 second. This is some deep shit. Why aren't your camps, whoever is leading you or teaching you, or who is over you, why aren't they teaching you this stuff? Why aren't you asking questions? Because you're too pussyfied and scared. You are too pussyfied and scared. It's a goddamn shame. This is fucked up. They said the Supreme Being was a goddamn woman. And these bastards, these men, these arrogant men changed the sex of the Supreme Being from a woman to a man. This is a damn shame. Let's keep on going. We ain't done yet. This is facts. Now how you gonna debunk this shit? Under the section realm, one of the horny animals embodying the phallic god, along with the bull, stag, and billy goat. The ram was also selected for the dubious honor of sacrifice, being identified with the god who immolated himself to himself for the sake of humanity. Let me turn this down so you can hear this. This is a damn shame. Let's keep on going. It says solar gods were linked with the heavenly ram Aries, who began the sacred year, dead and be born as the new Eon. Egyptians called him Amun-Ra, the ram, the virile male, the holy phallus which stirred up the passions of love the ram of rams. Listen to this. The ram caught in a thicket was a sexual metaphor and a common religious icon in Abraham's legendary home, Ur of the Chaldees. The same ram caught in a thicket appeared in the Bible as a surrogate victim to replace Isaac, whose father Abraham was about to sacrifice him on the altar at Yahweh's command. Genesis 22 and 13. It says, the story marked a transition from ancient custom of human sacrifice to the classical rule of animal sacrifice, as shown also in the substitution of the ram of the golden fleece from the king's son in a Botean sacrifice to Zeus. An older Mishdrach version of the Abraham-Isaac story said Abraham's hand was not stayed. The ram did not appear. Isaac was slaughtered, buried, and rose again on the third day. It says that rams were sacred in Israel as consorts of Rachel, the holy Ebwe, the holy lamb, whom the biblical narrative later married to Jacob, a reincarnated Isaac. Jews sacrificed the Paschal lamb each year as a firstborn son of the ram god who was identified with Yahweh. At one time, the biblical god wore ram's horns. Let's prove that. Let's see, can we find a picture of Yahweh with ram's horns on it? So I told him to tear your damn Bible apart. Tear it apart. It's all stories. With ram horns. This is symbolism of the ram. The Jews today use a ram's horn, known in Hebrew as a shofar, to announce their holy days and drive away evil spirits. Where did they get the ram's horn from? The ram. Egypt. Black folks, Africans, black people, niggas. It says to that. So it says to that, at one time, the biblical God wore ram's horns, later assigned instead to the devil. So the ram horn was assigned to God, and then they take the ram's horn and come up with this fictitious devil, and they come up with shit like this. Baphomet with the horns, bullshit. Keep on telling you dumb niggas don't know what the hell's going on. Baphomet. Here's your Baphomet images. Here's your goat's horn. Goat is another word for ram. You niggas know the difference between animals? God damn. Let's type in the word ram. Ram. Or animal. Goat. Bull. Ram, animal. Let's look it up. Right here. A big horn. Here it is. Right there. Here it is. Here you go. Ram. Sheep. This is another form of a sheep. This is another form of a sheep. They said it right here. Ram. Male sheep. Let's go to the damn Britannica. Let's see what it says. Ram. A male sheep. I don't know why it's coming out like this. But they're giving you the damn answer. They're telling you, clear as day. It's a sheep. It's an animal. Here's your ram. And they take this off and put it on give it human qualities. That's what's called anthropomorphism. So it says, at one time, the biblical God wore ram's horns, later assigned instead to the devil. Joshua's priests used ram's horns, the ram's horns, to make victory magic in Joshua 6:4, showing that they were led by the divine ram in battle. Joshua 6:4. Let's go. Joshua chapter 6 verse 4. What does it say? Have 7 priests carry trumpets of ram's horns in front of the ark on the 7th day. March around the city 7 times with the priests blowing the trumpets. Just tore your Bible apart. Just tore it apart. You niggas and you other people who are so-called Bible believers do not know what this book is talking about. None whatsoever. You don't know the difference between your animals and none of that shit. Did you know that a unicorn unicorn is not a horse is not a horse with the horn on his head? A unicorn is a rhinoceros. You want to prove it? Let's look it up. Noah Webster Dictionary. All these words that we use come from another man's imagination. None of this shit is divinely inspired. Let's look it up. Noah Webster Dictionary, 1828 edition. And we're going to type in unicorn, because unicorn is in the Bible. Look it up. You don't read the Bible because you don't know what it's talking about. So it says, a unicorn, an animal with one horn. The rhinoceros. This name is often applied to the rhinoceros. This is what a unicorn is in the Bible. Look it up. Let's look it up. Unicorn in the Bible. Unicorn in the Bible. Let's see. Numbers chapter 22, verse 23. Numbers chapter 23, verse 22. God brought them out of Egypt. He have as it were the strength of a unicorn. Deuteronomy 33 and 17. His glory is like the firstling of his bullock, and his horns are like the horns of unicorns. Let's go back to the dictionary. So unicorn is a rhinoceros, is one rhinoceros, and it says right here, plural, it says rhinoceros. So a unicorn is a rhinoceros. Let's put this in reverse. Rhinoceros. You know I could be charging you niggas about a drove. I could have been an E instead of a GoFundMe page and a PayPal account and charge you niggas about a drove. Because you niggas don't want to read. Rhinoceros. What does it say? A rhinoceros, quadrupeds of 2 species, one of which, the unicorn, has a single horn growing almost erect from the nose. These animals are native to Asia and Africa. There is another species with 2 horns, the bicornis. The bicornis. What is the bicornis? It's a 2-horn rhinoceros. Let's put it in there. Okay, binoceros. Binoceros. So you got the rhinoceros and the binoceros, right? Let's see, bicornuous. Here it is, bicornuous. Right here. What is it? Bicornuous. Having two horns. So let's type in the word rhinoceros. Excuse me. So you got rhinoceros. One second. Okay. So you got rhinoceros, right? And click on images. See, this is a rhinoceros. And it's a two-horn or one-horn animal. This is your rhinoceros. This is your unicorn. See? Ain't no damn. This is not. This bullshit right here. This trash right here. This is fairy tale make believe bullshit right here. This trash. This junk. The horse with the horn on the head, bullshit. This is make believe. This is fairy tale bullshit. This is trash. This is Never Neverland. This is bullshit. This is Tooth Fairy bullshit. Just like with the Bible, it's a bunch of goddamn stories. It's a bunch of stories. I'm not making this shit up. This is sad. You niggas don't want to read. The problem is, you niggas probably can't read. You probably don't know how to read. You probably one of those kids who sat all the way in the back. So when the teacher called upon you to read, you didn't want to read. Reading is a part of learning. That's why they say reading is fundamental. Fundamental. Mental. What is mental? Your brain, god damn it. So reading is supposed to be fun for your mental ability. What does mental mean? Brain. Mentality. Mental, related to the mind. Brain, cerebral cortex. Right? So reading is supposed to be fun, the mental. So, one more time. It says Rachel. It says Rachel. Let's read it again. Rachel, according to the womb, personification of Rakaman, mother love or compassion, comparable to Sanskrit Karuna. Rachel's Teutonic form was the divine Ebwe, or sheep, mother of the Holy Lamb, as in mother of the Holy Lamb, an important symbol of earlier Hebraic tribal motherhoods. Rabbinical or Jewish writings admitted that during this tribal period, the four matriarchs, what does matriarch mean? Matriarchs is mothers. Matriarchs, an older woman who is powerful within a family organization, a woman who is the head of a family or tribe. So the woman, so we talk about these African tribes or a tribe, the woman is the head, not the man. The woman. Jewish writers admitted that during this tribal period, the four mothers, Rachel, Sarah, Rebecca, and Leah, were more important than the three patriarchs. What are patriarchs? Men. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Huh? How you going to debunk that? How? Let's go back into the rainbow. It says that when God said he gave Noah a sign, a covenant, he said wasn't going to flood the earth anymore with his rainbow? Bullshit. This goes back, this is to the woman. It's to the woman. It says here that biblical writers reinterpreted this Babylonian myth to omit the goddess and make the rainbow represent God's promise or Yahweh's promise or Jehovah's promise to Noah not to do it again. It says here that, let's see. It says here that the throne of the Supreme Being is surrounded by a rainbow, and the same symbolism persists into the Christian art of the Renaissance. The sex of the Supreme Being was changed by patriarchal theology. Who are the patriarchs? Men. Who wrote this damn Bible? The white man. It couldn't have been niggas. It wasn't black folks. The black folks in slavery. So who wrote your goddamn Bible? Greeks, white folks. You are taking on beliefs of white people. White people's imaginations. Through their eyelids, through their brains. Let's look up patriarchs again. Patriarch. Patriarch. It goes back to a man. Look what they got. Any of those biblical figures regarded as fathers of the human race, especially Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Well, we know that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob are fictitious people. Look, it says patriarch, religious leadership role, the highest ranking bishops in Eastern Orthodoxy, Oriental Orthodoxy, the Catholic Church, and the Church of the East are termed patriarchs. Who are these patriarchs? Like white folks to me. So patriarchs are men. Let's look it up. Patriarchs. One of the scriptural fathers of the human race of the Hebrew people. Abraham was a patriarch of the Israelites. A man who was father or founder. Okay? These are men. Don't get mad at me. I'm doing what you're afraid to do. Question life. You're afraid to question life. You're afraid to question life. It's a goddamn shame. So, we see here that patriarchs are men. Matriarchs are women. What did this damn woman just say in this book? She said that the sex of the Supreme Being is surrounded by a rainbow, and the same symbolism persists into the Christian art of the Renaissance. The sex, I want you to see this, the sex of the Supreme Being was changed by men. Theology. So, the man has always known, in terms of religious belief systems, or pertaining to a book, and trying to find out the supreme being of God, they have always known that it was a woman. The supreme being was changed by patriarchal theology. Patriarchal are men. How are you going to debunk this? You can't. You cannot debunk this. You cannot pull on Bible verses. Bible verses not going to help your ass in this one. We want patriarchs. Patriarchal. Patriarchal, relating to or characteristics of a system of society or government controlled by men. What did this say? What did this say? This just said the supreme being was changed by patriarchal. So the supreme being was changed by a system of society or government controlled by a group of men studying theology. What does theology mean? Theology. Theology. The study of the nature of God and religious beliefs. So they're studying, they're trying to find out, and we know that the black man and woman is God. Who was over them? Who was the supreme being? Who was supreme? Who was over the man and the woman? Who was over? Who was the head and the tail? The woman is the head and the man is the tail. That's facts. You can't debunk this shit. So these white men who translated this shit, I'm not being racist. I'm being straight truthful. And you got your black average sellout Negroes. They know this shit too. That's a part of these secret societies, these fraternities, these secret lodges, these camps. They know this shit. It says that the sex of the supreme being was changed by patriarchal men, a system of men, society, who was studying the nature of God. God. We know that God is a man of gods and goddesses. In the Bible, they don't have any goddesses. They just got God. It's a man. But they know, so in technicality, your first verse in the Bible, in Genesis 1:1, I'm being real. Genesis 1:1 is supposed to be like this. So instead of in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth, he didn't do this. Man didn't do this. The woman did. In terms of beliefs. Now remember, these are stories. We're reading this. None of us was there because before your mother and father came to conceive you, what were you doing and who were you? You were nobody. You were non-existence. You didn't know any damn thing. So we come into this world learning. We come into this world learning. So it says, in the beginning, God. So let's look up God. Let's see what they have as God. It's going to come out to a damn man. God. In Christianity and other monotheistic religions, the creator is relates to a man. Creatress is a woman of the universe and source of all moral authority, supreme being. Synonym, God, the Father, man. Right? And you got down here, deity, goddess. Okay? You have God. Okay? Let's click on the Wikipedia. Alright? And you have here, God is a man. Right? Etymology. The earliest written form of Germanic word God comes from the 6th century Christian Codex Argentinus. Right? And it says God is telling you that God is a man. But this is not right. This is wrong. This is all fucked up. It's all messed up. It says that these men, and she has all the footnotes in here. It says the sex of the supreme being was changed by men, patriarchal men, patriarchal theology. But the symbol still suggests that the archaic Maya Shakti enveloped in her rainbow veils. You see that? Just crushed it. So the supreme being is a woman. It ain't no damn man, it's a woman. Why do you think this woman, this girl made this song, God's a woman? Let's go to the damn thing. They've been putting this shit in your face, plain sight. They put it in songs, symbols, and signs, and you niggas can't read the signs and symbols. You looking for some old mystery, magical, divine bullshit when the signs and symbols in your face the whole goddamn time. Ariana Grande, God is a woman. Why do you think she made this damn song? God is a woman. Why do you think she made this song? Why do you think that? Why do you think she made this song? You heard this song before.
If you're a YouTuber, you're probably using this.
So I got 4 minutes left.
So you should start using this.
These celebrities know what's up, man. They know what this shit is. You niggas are reaching for some bullshit, talking about these people are clones and all this shit. If you're gonna state that and say these people are clones, you got to have factual evidence and proof. Your ass can go to jail. That's called defamation of character when you do something like that. When you speculate with no factual evidence, saying that these people are clones with no proof. Provide a source, provide a laboratory that these people were made in. Do you know it's possible that your ass can be a clone? Don't you know when you are born, the doctor takes your blood? So how do you know that your ass is not a clone? You ever seen a movie called The Sixth Day with Arnold Schwarzenegger? That nigga was walking around the whole time thinking he was him, but he was a goddamn clone. Didn't know it. The Sixth Day. Six-day film, right? Arnold Schwarzenegger. This movie came out in 2006. In the world of the very near future, cattle, fish, and even the family pet can be cloned. But cloning humans is illegal. That is until the family man Adam Gibson, I wonder why they called him Adam, comes from work one day to find that he's a clone. So Arnold Schwarzenegger is playing a man named Adam Gibson. I wonder why they call him Adam. We know that Adam is a white man, because you can't date niggas. You can't date black folks, because ain't no way in hell it was called black folks back in 2 billion years ago was called some damn Adam. Bullshit. But anyway, like I said, they have always known this shit. And who do I mean by they? Who is they? They are these high-level Freemasons, secret societies. Right? That's what it is. So these people have changed the supreme being from a man, from a woman to a man. That's facts. For your ass. That's facts. Now I don't even know I don't have a title for this video. I'm still reading this. I'm almost finished. We're gonna bring some more out in this book. I only spent I only paid $1 for the shit. falling apart. Like I said, you niggas don't want to read. But you want to come in and talk shit about me. Oh, you know what you're talking about, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. Hey, man, guess what? I know what the hell's going on. I know what the book is talking about. I know what's going on. I know what's going on in the world. You talking this clone bullshit, providing no facts, no proof, no evidence, just talking shit. Not knowing, not even realizing the possibility that your ass be walking around. You could be the goddamn clone. Why do you think this dude made this movie called Us? Oh boy, the movie Us. Why do you think he made that movie? The movie Us. Shit just came out. Right? Us. I never seen this whole movie. But the family, I guess the family walk around the whole town thinking that they are actual themselves, but the whole town, they clones. Right? You seen the movie. I'm quite sure you all seen this movie. I've only seen bits and pieces of it because the shit looked dumb to me. But they tell you in movie format, signs and symbols. You niggas can't read the signs. You can't read the symbols. You don't know what the fuck is going on. All you know is Peter said this. Paul said that in the book of Acts. The book of Acts, Peter can't save your ass when you got a flat tire. The book of Acts and the book of Matthew can't save you when it's time for you to go to the grocery store and pay for your food. You think the cashier is gonna accept Bible verses when it's time to pay for those groceries? They're gonna be like, man, what the fuck is this person doing? Pulling out a goddamn Bible verse. They want money. They want currency. You cannot live off the laws of the Bible and the land. That's what your church and state is. Your church and state. Your church, I got 3 minutes left. Church and state. What is church and state? Church, and people say this word. People always say this this slogan, church and state, but they don't know who the state is. Who's running the state? Who's running the government? Church and state. So it says church and state. The separation of church and state is a philosophical and jurisprudential concept of defining political distance and the relationship between religious organizations and the nation state. So they're separating the government, they're separating the lands of the laws of the land and with the shit that's in the Bible pertaining to religious doctrines or beliefs. So you can't live off you cannot do the biblical laws, the shit that's in the Bible, and the laws of the land, the governmental laws. It's impossible. Why do you think they break the laws in the Bible? Because they know it's bullshit. They wrote this shit. You don't know who wrote it. I can tell you who wrote it because I did the video breakdown on who did this shit. Go to my YouTube channel. Let's see, I done broke this shit down already. Go to my channel. And go down to the video on right here. The Jewish people run the United States government. Watch those videos. So around the time I see the next one, peace.